Bart vs. Itchy and Scratchy is the 18th episode of the 30th season of The Simpsons. This is directed by Chris Clements, and I was so surprised to see just how poorly this has been rated on IMDb, because honestly, I thought it was actually pretty decent, but it's got 5.0 out of 10 across 1.6 thousand reviews and ratings. Even for this stage of The Simpsons, that is a terrible rating. And in fact, it's one of the lowest rated episodes up until this point. And I honestly don't understand why. I'm not saying it's perfect. It's not the best episode in the world, but I was never bored. I thought it addressed some interesting topics. It was very well animated, particularly one moment, but I'll discuss that with a spoiler warning. I thought it was actually pretty decent. So this will be spoiler-free to begin with. And Bart and Lisa are watching the Krusty show, and Krusty announces that Itchy and Scratchy are now going to be girls. And Lisa's delighted. Bart is furious. And Bart and basically all of the other boy characters vow to, well, initially they suggested hate watching it, and then they decided to hate not watch it. And that made me smile a little bit, because when somebody says they're hate watching things, they don't necessarily see the irony of the fact that they are actually contributing to the success of that thing they're hate watching. So by hate not watching it, that's a more powerful message. However, things don't go according to plans, and things escalate, and the show talks quite a lot about, well, feminism, and how sometimes male characters can fit into a feminist-driven story, and I don't want to say too much more than that. And I'm trying to identify why it has such a low rating. And maybe it's because it's pushing this agenda so forcefully into the front that people might not like it. Maybe they think it's being anti-male or anti-patriarch, which in times it is, but also at the same time, I don't think it is. I think some characters are thinking that way, but I don't think the show's opinion is that's what it's trying to show. So I personally, I can't see it. I can't see why it would be rated so negatively. So if you hate it, I respect your opinion, but I would love to know why, because honestly, I didn't think it was a problem at all. I think it very expertly said, okay, on the one hand, making a show just girls, so, making Itchy and Scratchy girls is a bit of a weird move to make just to be, more inclusive or to show female support. It is a weird move. But at the same time, the show also said some people are going to have over-the-top reactions to this, because at the end of the day, what difference does it make? Violence, as some of the characters pointed out, violence in the cartoons is still the same. The actual jokes haven't changed. So really, it's kind of showing it's a bit of a weird move to make, but also overreacting is a bit of a weird thing as well. And I think they really showed the balance there. As I said, I do think maybe it was a bit too much in your face for some people, but I still don't think it's a terrible episode. And in fact, it also went as far as saying that when you're a bit more radical, you might be annoying, because we have 3 female characters, 3, I think they were 5th graders, if I'm not mistaken, and they're voiced by Awkwafina, Nicole Byer, and Chelsea Peretti, and they are, well, they're radical feminists, basically. They're there to do as much damage as they can, and I think they're very unlikable characters, so it also helped to show the other side of the coin. Yes, people are overreacting when characters have become female, but also you can go too far the other way. And you need that balance. You can't just be women rule, boys drool. It's got to be a balance. And I think certain characters help to show that. And I can't really give away too much more without saying which characters, although I think it might be pretty obvious once you start watching it. So I think they did a good job of showing all sides, really. Again, it is in your face, but that's what the episode is about. If you don't like subjects that deal with gender equality, don't watch it. There are episodes of The Simpsons that are about sports, for example, and I don't like those episodes, but I'm not giving them a negative rating just because I don't care about sports. If you don't care about gender equality, it's not an episode for you. If I don't care about sports, then I'm sure there are episodes that are not really for me, but it's not the fault of the episode, but in my opinion, the fault of the recipient. As I said, this is quite well animated. There are a couple of points that are quite beautiful to look at. And for me, okay, it's a spoiler from now. I don't think I have anything else to say that isn't a spoiler. So there will be spoilers from this point. And the bit that I thought was really well animated was when the vat of nail polish remover spilled everywhere and then they blew the glitter, which I thought was a bit ridiculous, but something happened to the lighting and the colours, and it just looked so mesmerising and so beautiful and mystical. And there was something about it that I just thought was really, really nice. Also, the character, I can't remember which of the characters it is, but she's the one with the orange hair, and her hair is kind of ombre, and it looks almost like metallic. I've never seen that kind of effect in The Simpsons before, and it just really stood out to me as being really well done. So I think we have a good message, which for some people will be in their face, but as I said, it depends on what you're interested in. There are episodes, like I said, that don't speak to something I care about, but that's not the episode's fault. That's just me not being interested in that subject matter. If you're not interested in gender equality, then fair enough, it might not be for you. And it's well animated, interesting cast of characters, great guest voice stars. I have no problems with it. As I said, it's not perfect. It's not the best episode in the world. It's not like every joke was successful or anything. But I definitely don't see why it's got such a low rating. I really enjoyed it. Bart versus Itchy and Scratchy definitely provides balance. And with Bart, as I said, spoilers from this point, I think Bart showing that he can help the female characters with their, well, trouble causing, shows that actually people can work together for gender equality. It's not boys versus girls or however you want to look at it. It's about working together. And we also have other sides of the coin with people feeling outraged that there was even this need to make Itchy and Scratchy girls. Because, as I said, I think that's ridiculous. If they suddenly decided to make Tom and Jerry girls, what's the point? The jokes are the same. It's not like I can't relate to those characters because I'm not male. And I feel like that's a lot of the characters were stressing that point here. So again, it's balanced. We have a lot of different perspectives, and I think they did well with it. Never mind. It seems like some people have not been able to see that. I like this episode. It may not be an all-time favourite, but I would be very happy to watch it again nevertheless.